Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimakung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read all of your part of Ulysses.
Ass.
Ah.
Ulysses. James Joyce. Chapter 666. The Last House. So it is, Mr. Daedalus said. A gruesome case. Timorbush got him off. Murdered his brother. Or so they said. The Crown had no evidence. Mr. Parr said. Only circumstantial. Martin Cunningham added. That's the maxim of the law. Better for 99 guilty to escape than for one innocent person to be wrongfully condemned. They looked. Murderer's ground. It passed darkly. Dirt. Tenantless. Unweeded garden. Whole place gone to hell. Wrongfully condemned. Murder. The murderer's image in the eye of the murdered. They love reading about it. Man's head found in a garden. Her clothing consisted of. How she met her death. Recent outrage. The weapon used. Murder is still at large. Clues. A shoelace. The body to be exhumed. Murder will out. Cramped in this carriage. She mightn't like me to come that way without letting her know. Must be careful about women. Catch them once with their pants down. Never forgive you after. 15. The high railings of Prospect rippled past their gaze. Dark poplars. Rare white forms. Forms more frequent. White shapes formed amid the trees. White forms in fragments streaming by mutually. Sustaining vain gestures on there. The filly hushed against the curbstone. Stopped. Martin Cunningham put out his arm end, wrenching back the handle. Shoved the door open with his knee. He stepped out. Mr. Parr and Mr. Daedalus followed. Change that's up now. In her handkerchief pocket. He stepped out of the carriage, replacing the newspaper his other hand still held. Poultry funeral. Coach and 3 carriages. It's all the same. Hulberius. Cold rains. Backway mass. Firing a volley. Pump of death. Beyond the hind carriage, a hawker stood by his barrow of cakes and fruit. Sinnel cakes those are. Stuck together. Cakes for the dead. Tug biscuits. Who ate them? Mourners coming out. He followed his companions. Mr. Kerning and Ned Lambert followed. Hines walking after them. Corny Killeher stood by the open terrace and took out the 2 wreaths. He handed one to the boy. Where is that child's funeral disappeared to? A team of horses passed from fingers with trailing plodding tread. Dragging through the funeral silence a creaking wagon on which lay a granite block. The wagoner marching at their head saluted. Cuffing now. Got here before us. Dead as he is. Horse looking round at it with his bloomscoways. Della. Collar tight on his neck. Pressing on a blue vessel or something. Do they know what they cart out here every day? Must be 20 or 30 funerals every day. The mad Durham for the Protestants. She knows all over the world, everywhere, every minute. Shoveling them under by the cartload double quick. Thousands every year. Too many in the world. Mourners came out through the gates. Woman and a girl. Leaned with harpy. Hard woman at a bargain. Her bonnet awry. Cole's face stained with dirt and tears. Holding the woman's arm. Looking up at her for a sign to cry. Phil's face. Bloodless and livid. The meat shouldered the kfing and bore it in through the gates. So much dead weight. Felt heavy myself stepping out of that bath. First the stiff, then the friends of the stiff. Corny Kelleher and the boy followed with their wreaths. Who was that beside them? The brother-in-law. All walked after. Martin Cunningham whispered, I was immortal agony with you talking of suicide before Bloom. What? Mr. Parr whispered. How so? His father poisoned himself. Martin Cunningham whispered. Had the Queen's Hotel in Innies. You heard him say he was going to clear. Anniversary. Oh God. Mr. Parr whispered. First I heard of it. Poison himself? Cardinal's mausoleum. Speaking. Was he insured? Mr. Bloom asked. I believe so. Mr. Kerning answered. But the policy was heavily mortgaged. Martin is trying to get the youngster into Ortain. How many children did he leave? 5. Ned Lambert says he'll try to get one of the girls into Tuds. A sad case. Mr. Bloom said gently. 5 young children. A great blow to the poor wife. Mr. Kerning added. Indeed, yes. Mr. Bloom agreed. Has the laugh at him now. He looked down at the boots he had blacked and polished. She had outlived him. Lost her husband. More dead for her than for me. One must outlive the other. Wise men say, there are more women than men in the world. Condole with her. Your terrible loss. I hope you'll soon follow him. For Hindu widows only. She would marry another. Then. Well. Yet who knows after. Widowhood not the thing since the old queen died. Drawn on a gun courage. Victoria and Albert. Frogwall Memorial Morning. But in then she put a few violets in her bonnet. Pain in her heart of hearts. All for a shadow. Consort not even a king. Her son was the substance. Something new to hope for, not like the past she wanted back. Waiting. It never comes. One must go first. One. Under the ground. And lie no more in her warm bed. How are you? Simon? Ned Lambert said softly, clasping hands. Haven't seen you for a month of Sundays. Ever better. How are all in Cork sometime? I was down there for the Cork Park races on Easter Monday. Ned Lambert said, same old 6 and 9 pence. stopped with Dick to be. And how is Dick? The salad man? Nothing between himself and heaven. Ned Lambert answered, By the holy Paul. Mr. Diddless said in subdued wonder, Dick to be bold? Martin is going to get up a web for the youngsters. Ned Lambert said, pointing ahead. A few bob a skull. Just to keep them going till the insurance is cleared up. Yes. Yes. To be continued.